many institutions, particularly Christian institutions, are going through a lot of challenges. And as leaders of these institutions, it rests a lot on our shoulders. And so I thought we could be able to talk about it, pray about it, and maybe seek to understand what God is speaking about the challenges that we face. One of the things that you find very outstanding in leadership is the challenges at personal level that play into the leadership. As individuals, they usually say, the higher you go, the cooler it becomes. And so it gets very cold up there. And sometimes you wonder if God is in this or not, or he has an answer, or is concerned about what we are going through or not. And so at the end of the day, you find that leadership becomes not a joy, but a kind of burden that we struggle to carry along with us. We don't enjoy it, and we miss out on the peace that God promises us. And I think one of the things that hopefully we can help one another to understand is where God stands at every stage of the leadership challenges that we face. I also do realize that in leadership, people have got a lot of expectations. They say, when you lead an academic institution, the challenges are very different from any other organization. Because students are one animal that is very different from any other organizations. Faculty are another group that is very unique. You don't find it in other places. Then, of course, you have staff to lead. In most organizations, you're only hustling with the staff, and it's from the top down, one line. But in the kind of institutions that we lead, there are many branches, and each branch is quite difficult in its own right. So we face that, and as we face these challenges, sometimes looks like leadership becomes like a minefield, a very dangerous thing to step on. My experience over the years is that nobody ever gets to understand what a leader goes through unless they have been there. When they have not been there, it looks very good up there. Until they have been there, that's when they get to understand the challenges that a leader faces. I want us this morning, I think, to have more of a discussion, to share our experiences of hopefully what we've gone through in the last 1 year. But I want to mention a few things. First, that we have got three levels at which we face challenges in leadership. And the first one is at personal level. At personal level, we're talking of discouragement, we're talking of loneliness, we're talking of the challenge of spiritual support. That seems to be very low at that level. We are talking of support networks that sometimes get very low. So that at personal level, we have a lot of things that we struggle with. And sometimes you go through the whole night, you can't sleep because you are solving a problem in the office. But we also have challenges at institutional level that we have to face. And these are challenges that come in different ways. I think at institutional level, the biggest challenge that we face is that of finances, limited resources within most Christian institutions. I don't know why that happens. that Christian institutions are the major culprits of struggle in regard to finances. And we face that. Sometimes you don't know when you are going to pay the next salaries for the month. But also we have expectations from the market. We have expectations from the people that we lead. We have expectations from, for some of us, from the government. For others, is from the accrediting bodies. We have those expectations that sometimes are very difficult. We have a chair there, unless you are avoiding him. So we face challenges at personal level. We also face challenges at institutional level. And at institutional level, we realize that the way organizations run keeps getting very complicated. It's not just globalization, but even at local level, things keep getting more complicated. They change faster than they used to. And so it creates challenges for us to look at issues of how to manage with complex situations. The third area that where we face challenges is at governance level. As leaders, we have boards and so on above us. And oftentimes, some of the boards have no understanding of what the leader goes through. And that becomes a challenge. And the question that we ask in each one of these is, what is God speaking in each of these challenges? Is he seeing what we are going through? The third area where we face a lot of challenges is at the management level. At the management level, things get quite nasty. A brother was talking of those who outrightly challenge you, those who oppose you, those who confront you. We have all those kinds of characters at management level. Managing changes that need to take place within the institution is a major challenge that we face. The increasing expectations from our staff, from our students, from our clients, again puts a lot of pressure, because they will ask, I mean, this is a Christian institution. Where is God? Why are things not working? And this is supposed to be a Christian institution. It's supposed to do much better than anybody else. We face the challenge of opposition from within and from without. It comes day in and day out. And sometimes you pray and it's like the heavens are silent. And the question is, where do you go? Okay? You end up carrying the burden on your shoulders day in and day out. So in the midst of these challenges, you end up with a leader that is discouraged, and yet they stick in because God has not said you leave. You stick in. But you don't have the joy that is expected of the work. And it becomes a challenge for us. And yet, as leaders, I believe that God calls us to enjoy what we're doing. The expectation is that we can find fulfillment and joy, because what we are doing as leaders is a ministry. And a ministry that is done without the joy of the Lord is a heavy, heavy burden for us to be able to carry. So as we look at those areas and the things that come out of that, a lot of the impact is at personal level. We ask, what is God speaking to to all these things. Of course, one of the things that we look at is the fact that when you're dealing with the struggle of the institution struggling financially, it looks very secular. Yeah, God getting involved in money things doesn't look very spiritual. And sometimes when we are confronted by other people, we want to confront in the same way, way that they have confronted us. How do we bring God to bear into these challenges that we face every day and in every direction?